the subject. Watch this.
When people visit grocery stores, a wide range of sumptuous fruits and vegetables are displayed on the shelves to get their attention. However, in the quest to keep these fruits and vegetables appealing for consumption, some food retail stores and companies that house them use certain preservatives to make them stay fresh for long periods of time. Little do people know that they are being deceived to buy and ingest these consumables along with poisons in the name of preservatives.
There are major companies who are doing bad and terrible things in the world, and they don't like those things to be known. These companies that are corrupting your food, they don't want the world to know what's going on.
It has now come to the fore that a particular preservative created about 2 decades ago to preserve fruits and vegetables contain chemical substances found to be harmful to human health. They labeled it Apeel.
They like all these nice names, but that's the veil.
Before digging deep into the analysis of Apeel, the killer preservative, it's important to understand the historic precedent of food preservatives.
With mass distribution across the country, food manufacturers were running into the problem of how to keep their products fresh for market, and how to do so at the lowest possible cost.
You didn't even have refrigeration. It hadn't been really determined how to preserve things in a way that would keep them marketable for a long period of time. There was canning, but that didn't work for everything. So what were you supposed to do?
Increasingly, companies were turning to the burgeoning chemical industry for answers. By 1901, companies like Dow and Monsanto had introduced a host of new chemicals to the food supply.
There's preservative discoveries. Formaldehyde, the ability to synthesize formaldehyde. There's copper sulfate, which is a heavy metal, is used to turn vegetables greener when they're canned.
Copper sulfate in particular was one that was used for a very long time. It went into green peas and it went into pickles. Anything that needed to look bright and fresh, copper sulfate went into it.
In the 19th century, most food was still real. And then the 20th century saw the process of food going from real to something that no one had ever seen before.
I remember going to a local health food store, one commonly known, and there was a sign that says our vegetables have waxes on there to improve their appearance. No, it's actually a preservative to make it deteriorate slower so we don't actually realize how far removed they are from the bushes, trees, wherever they came from. It's a preservative. We try to minimize our intake of that because every time we're eating food with some kind of preservative on it, in the case of a wax coating, or in it when you're buying canned or bottled foods, and those things are making the quality of that food less vital, less supportive of life.
With this in mind, what then is it about Apeel that brings it into critical questioning?
You can't always trust if your veggies are organic anymore. There's a label on your produce called Apeel, which is supposed to be a plant-based protection that helps the produce you love stay fresh for longer. In other words, a chemical coating put on your produce which you can't wash off so it doesn't brown or decompose in a normal amount of time because it's more environmentally friendly than coming wrapped in plastic.
Apeel, or Edapeel, is a World Economic Forum and Bill Gates funded product that is being sprayed on fruits and vegetables which are on the verge of spoiling so that they appear fresh and last longer. Even more frightening is the fact that Apeel has been approved for use on USDA organic produce under the name Organapeel.
Apeel is this covering they spray on fruit and vegetables that Bill Gates owns that literally puts it into cryonic freeze so it lasts 3 times longer, but it does something weird to it because fruit and vegetables breathe. So people have been opening up Apeel bananas and they're like rubber or avocados, and people are like, what is this?
So you understand some of the things that you're eating, well packaged, especially in countries where they don't carry out any serious work to ensure that what they're importing into the place and giving to their people is okay. They're not checking.
In light of this negligence, it then becomes essential to zero in on the contents of a peel to uncover why it has been broadly termed a killer preservative.
The Organics Material Review Institute, this is a nonprofit that looks at all the things that are in food, all the products that are coming out to see if they are in fact organic. They label this thing, they classify it as a crop, pest, weed, and disease control, and they also categorize it as a fungicide. So this is what Appeal submitted to the EPA, and we look at the ingredients. So they have their product here, it's called Organapeel, and you can see the active ingredient is citric acid, 0.66%. Now technically citric acid is a fungicide, but it's 0.66%. The other ingredients are 99.34%. Well, it doesn't say what the other ingredients are. We're trying to get a feel of maybe what's going on in that other 99+%. So we go back to Appeal's website, and it starts to tell us a little bit about that. It says Appeal is made of purified mono and diglycerides that have been derived from plant oils to mimic the natural protection of peels. Okay, mono and diglycerides. Now we're getting somewhere. What are monoglycerides? Mono and diglycerides can be found in processed foods such as coffee creamers, frozen dinners, ice cream, frosting, whipped topping, candy, soft drinks, chewing gum, and a bunch of other things, but not something you would really associate with the most organic, clean, natural products in the world. This is Appeal's patent for this product. And you read the abstract, it says, described herein are methods of sanitizing and preserving produce and other agricultural products, for example, for consumption as ready to eat. Wait a minute, we heard about preserving produce, but sanitizing, we didn't hear anything about that. You're not hearing about that in the media. So there's a two-step process here we're not really in the light about. What's the sanitizing process? It says the sanitizing agent comprises an alcohol or comprises ethanol, methanol, acetone, isopropanol, or ethyl acetate. So there it is again. So they're putting
the same thing you take your nail polish off with. We like to wrap around your vegetables and fruit you're planning on getting some health benefit from, and then we wrap it in a plastic coating just to make sure it lasts forever, like the spike protein that's floating around your body right now.
Right.
This is essentially a heavy metal poisoning operation. There's no way to remove it. You can't wash it off. You can't use other chemicals to get it off. You can't mechanically rub it off. This is serious because this chemical or group of chemicals is being used to coat your food in an invisible way, which basically means it's without your consent and against your will to remove it. That's a double whammy. You should be aware that the CDC warns that ethyl acetate can affect the body if it's inhaled or comes in contact with the eyes or swallowed. You can't make this up. As for hexane, some authorities have said that short-term exposure can affect the central nervous system. That's your brain, and can cause headaches, dizziness, confusion, nausea, drowsiness, and the effects on the brain can be permanent. Let's take a look at some of these toxic, carcinogenic, deadly metals that are allowed to be used in the process of making Appeal. Palladium, highly toxic and carcinogenic. Arsenic, you've heard of that. Harmful to the eyes, skin, liver, kidneys, lungs, and lymphatic system. It can also cause cancer. Lead. Remember lead? Lead affects many body systems, and it's particularly harmful to children. By the way, there is no level of lead exposure that is known to be without harmful effects. Cadmium. Cadmium was found by Mike Adams, the founder of Brighteon TV, in his lab, and his analysis of the Pfizer vials of C19 shots, or a collection of those vials. Cadmium causes kidney disease, loss of bone density, in addition to cancer. And then last but not least, our old friend mercury, which is a known neurotoxin.
The biggest story against it is that these diglycerides contain neutralizing agents. And these neutralizing agents can include palladium, arsenic, lead, cadmium, and mercury. And these are there to kill off bacterial and fungal growth that may be happening under the seal of this waxy Appeal. So when those get ingested, now you have a serious problem, because arsenic, well, we already know you can poison people with arsenic. It will affect your eyes, liver, skin, whatever. Lead will cause children to be stupid, really, losing IQ. And kidney will affect your bones and will affect your kidneys. And mercury, my God, well, that affects everything.
Apart from Appeal's detriment to human internal organs, it also obliterates the nutritional value and quality of the fruit itself.
I have finally looked into this whole Bill Gates Appeal thing. I have had many comments about this Appeal, the stuff they're spraying on the produce. And I thought I would be avoiding it by not buying anything with the little sticker on it that says Appeal, and apparently it doesn't have to have the sticker on it. And I found this out the hard way, because I'm pretty sure I got some produce with this spray on it, and I will show you what happened with me personally. I'm thinking these things are going to be marked with a sticker. Okay, they're not. I go into Aldi's. I get the same avocados. I've talked about them before. They are from Mexico, and it's organic. And I've never had a problem with these avocados. The last couple bags, I noticed they are not ripening very well at all. And I've had to throw some away, thank God. So I finally let one sit for a while. I'm gonna see if this thing ever ripens. And the light bulb never went off until just the other day when I cut it open. And this thing, if you've seen the videos about food looking like rubber and you think, is that true? It is true. This is the avocado, and it's rubbery. And you can twist it. You don't get anything on your hands. And so obviously I'm not going to eat it, and I'm washing off the chemicals that they say are toxic to the touch.
In a similar development, someone who bought a pack of fruits from the grocery store discovered that the store covered up Appeal's sticker with a more generic one.
I can't see it, but hopefully y'all can see me. There's the sticker. Are you kidding me? Took it off. It's there. I'm so grossed out. Thanks, Kroger.
Even though consuming fruits and vegetables is widely regarded as a healthy lifestyle choice, but now that the world knows about this toxic preservative, for how long has this wickedness been executed without public awareness?
They've been at it for long. But now, it's becoming full blast.
Appeal was founded in 2012 by James Rogers after receiving a $100,000 grant from the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation to help reduce post-harvest food waste in developing countries that lacked refrigeration infrastructure. After the initial grant, backing has been approved by Microsoft co-founder Bill Gates and venture capitalist firm Andreessen Horowitz. Appeal has raised $110 million in financing to date.
Other investors listed on the company's website include the who's who of venture capital, as well as the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, the latter of which has been on a spending tear, tens of billions of dollars over the past decade, in what some would describe as a coordinated plan to consolidate control over the world's food supply. Appeal has also been recognized as a World Economic Forum technology pioneer and is a part of the World Economic Forum Global Innovators community. The company's CEO and co-founder James Rogers is also a World Economic Forum Young Global Leader.
While our focus has been on Appeal, It must also be noted that there also exists other preservatives used to prolong the lifespan of fruits and vegetables beyond their natural timeline.
Most consumers are unaware that the fruit they eat from the supermarket has been treated with a product called Smart Fresh. I want you to see it in action. First, they place the fruit in a hermetically sealed chamber. Then they drop the Zyklon B, Smart Fresh, into some water to form a gas, and then they lock up the gas chamber nice and tight. They leave the fruit there for about 24 hours so that it can soak up all the gas, and voila, your fruit has been contaminated. Smart Fresh. Now let's look at an apple that's been treated with Smart Fresh and compare it to an apple that hasn't been treated with Smart Fresh. This time-lapse video shows the changes over 3 months. As you can see, the Smart Fresh apple hasn't changed a bit. Most people don't even realize that the fruit they buy at the grocery store can literally be a year old before it's actually sold, and you wouldn't know the difference. Let's see what the makers of Smart Fresh have to say about their product. They say the active ingredient of Smart Fresh is methylcyclopropene, or MCP. They describe it as a simple hydrocarbon molecule. Well, that sounds perfectly innocent, doesn't it? A simple hydrocarbon. What could be wrong with that? Well, examples of simple hydrocarbons are as follows: butane, propane, and even hexane. It turns out they're gassing the fruit with petroleum-based products, ladies and gentlemen. Now they just call it a simple hydrocarbon so that nobody worries about it. And the worst part here is that people are totally unaware.
Many grocery stores now are putting a chemical into that spray on our fruits and vegetables. We need to know. It's called sodium hypochlorite. Know what it is? It's bleach. Oh yeah, there's warnings about this. Chemstar is the company, and Produce Max is the product. Produce Max. Ask your grocery store, do you use Produce Max sprayed on our fruits and vegetables? If they do, tell them you are not coming here anymore.
With so many evidences of the health defects of appeal and preservatives generally, why then are they still being used on our fruits and vegetables, you may ask?
Make no mistakes about it. There is a more satanic agenda. It's about eugenics. It's about population control. Of course, there's a lot about money in it, but it's far more than money. And that's what makes it dangerous.
On the company website, it'll tell you that, and in mainstream media, that APL coating is safe and effective. I'm here to tell you they're flat out liars. Okay? And they've sold out for money to become yet another pawn of the Bill Gates quest to take out his fellow man. APL is made using mono and diglycerides. These are trans fatty acids. Remember, trans fats promote tremendous amounts of inflammation in the body, which is the precursor for many different diseases.
They are designed to eliminate targeted communities. And they can tell from the drawing board that in 5 years, all the people that are like this, a certain kind of people, will be eliminated in that place.
Everybody thought, well, okay, I'll just watch for the APL sticker, and I'll just buy organic, and I'll avoid it. And this way I can be assured that I'm not getting it. I'm not getting APL. Well, newsflash. You're not going to be avoiding anything. In fact, organically grown raised fruits and vegetables are specifically targeted by the APL poison. They want to. That's expensive fruit and vegetables. They want to protect that revenue. It's ridiculous. So it doesn't matter if the label's on there or not. This company has been spraying your fruits and vegetables with or without an APL label for years, including your produce. And Costco is the biggest purchaser of companies for this organic fruit. Feeling good because you're buying organic? You're probably buying the worst poison in the world.
So with all that has been revealed so far, what then must we do?
So one of the things we should consider, as it is today, is big time farming. We have to do something.
Additionally, we must be wary of food items labeled with the certifications of organizations like WHO, WEF, Bill Melinda Gates Foundation, and so on.
These are not people trying to help you with your health. These are people who are trying to control your health to death. They don't want you to live long. They want you dead. And that's the reason they're also going after food. But if you understand the life and nature of God in you, what did Jesus say? These signs shall follow them that believe. In my name they shall cast out devils. They shall speak with new tongues. They shall take up serpents. If they shall drink any deadly thing, it shall not hurt them. You have the life of God in you. It repels disease. So you walk in this light, health oozes out of you. Because you talk health, you think health, you walk in health. That's all you got.
And these signs will accompany those who believe. In my name they will drive out demons, they will speak in new tongues, and when they drink deadly poison, it will not hurt them at all.
Glory to God. So, let me read something to you from the Bible. Book of Daniel, chapter 11, verse 32. From the King James Version. And such as do wickedly against the covenant shall he corrupt by flatteries. So there are those who get flattered, those who get corrupted with deception. It's those whose minds follow after wickedness. Look at the next part of it. But the people that do know their God shall be strong and do exploits. So take that warning seriously. Take it seriously. Especially